Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice. Because today we are back to doing an episode of Terrifying Tuesdays. I had a kind of a life-induced break. You know, there's circumstances where I just stopped doing it for a little bit. But I'm back. Terrifying Tuesdays is a thing where I'm watching episodes from the different discs, horror movies and stuff that my father left me, or that my mother asked if I wanted after my father's death. She's not into this type of stuff. She said, "Do you want these?" And I'm like, who do you think you're asking? Of course I want them. So, and I will just, every Tuesday, well, supposedly, I will review a new one. And this week's will be Dead Man's Eyes from 1944, which comes on the Inner Sanctum Mysteries, the complete movie collection. Lon Chaney Jr. Okay. Now, so let me read the synopsis so that can get you down on here. It says, when an artist loses his sight in a freak accident, his future father-in-law promises to bequeath his own eyes upon death, which ends up being much, much sooner than anyone could foresee. Simple enough. So this is kind of a murder mystery, and it also, kind of horror, kind of not, but, so what we have is Lon Chaney Jr. playing the artist. His name is Dave Stewart, and he's good, he's very good, but he hasn't achieved any, fame. He's just waiting for that one piece to launch him into notoriety, into fame. And he is engaged to this very, very, very attractive young woman whose father happens to be loaded, and they are going to get married as soon as he finishes this one piece, which he thinks is going to be his masterpiece. He's doing it of a young Hispanic woman. She's posing and all that. And every day, when he gets done for the day, he goes over and he takes some, I think it says acid on it, but it's not acid, and he puts on a thing, puts them in his eyes. It's kind of like early eye wash, I guess. Back in the day, I was going to call my mom and ask about that, but it explains it in the movie. And to clear his eyes, and there's also a couple other bottles in there. But the next day, his model, she uses the same thing and then puts the bottles back around, and accidentally he didn't read the bottles, so he takes it and gets blinded. So you have Dave Stewart, you have the fiance, you have the father-in-law, you have Dave Stewart's best friend, who is a psychiatrist, who is kind of in love with the Hispanic lady. And you also have another dude who's a whiny little bitch, who is in love with Dave Stewart's fiance. And he is just trying to make his move, but the father-in-law does not like this guy. He thinks he's a whiny little bitch, and he's right. So these are the central characters you have in here. And there's also a doctor who's kind of a minor character. They can't do anything about the blindness, and so he's kind of sulking, saying, what am I going to do? I'm an artist. I can't be an artist anymore. I'm going to sit here and, sulk and drink and, So he calls off the wedding because he doesn't deserve, his fiance doesn't deserve him. And he's going to stay and have the model feels responsible because she accidentally switched the bottles around, and even though he didn't read the damn bottles. So she's going to stay and help. The father-in-law, or soon-to-be father-in-law, finds out that there's a procedure that, you can replace the eyes of somebody, and, he says, obviously I'm not going to do it while I'm alive, but, if I'm dead, I'm going to give you my eyes. So we can, good possibility that you can get the eyes back. And then all of a sudden, like the next day or two, he's murdered, but unfortunately Dave Stewart is the one who found the body. So he is being charged, or the major suspect in the murder of the old man. And so he has 3 days to try and get this solved because the eyes have to be removed from the person and put into the body before they go bad. Actually, he didn't have the 3 days. He actually did get the operation, but he's under a lot of pressure to figure out who did it. Because actually, we don't know if he did it or not because we didn't see the murder. We just see him walking in on the body. So he's under all this pressure to try and figure out who murdered the old man. And, if it wasn't him or not. So that is the whole gist of it. And there's all these different, like any good mystery, you have, multiple suspects and alibis that fall apart and, boom, boom, boom. Not going to tell you who did it, obviously, because I don't want to ruin it, but I think I kind of figured it out about halfway through. But all the acting was really good, except for the lady who played the model, not the soon to be, not the fiance, but the model. She wasn't exactly up to par with the rest of them, but you can't really complain. The guy who played the jealous other man did a really good job at playing that. He was very good at playing the whiny little punk. And that, the police detective who was involved investigating the murder, very good job. And it was well written. I know I probably say all this stuff with these things, but these are just done very well, and you know, I can see why we have this because it's the Inner Sanctum is Mysteries is a very good series. You know, we have the slipcover. It's two discs. Of course, I have the first one in the player right now, but I recommend picking these up and watching these. I've seen at least a couple of other ones, and they're all good. But yeah, but this one was very good as well. So to recap, you have, you know, murderer, desperate man trying to clear his name. So his, you know, and hopefully get his fiancée back because he doesn't want to marry her because, you know, because he's feeling sorry for himself, and then she thinks he killed her father. So he has all this stuff to try and, you know, do to get clear his name and, you know, keep from getting hanged. 4.5 out of 5. And recommend. So anyway, let me know if you've seen it. Let me know what you thought of it if you did. Like, subscribe, possibly share, and most of all, enjoy your mysteries.